Thanks, Joe. So I know we've been bringing you a lot of these miracle stories, and this one means a lot to me because I actually got to tell Parker's story. So before we introduce you to Parker and his family, here's his miracle story.
2-year-old Parker Ranicky is your typical toddler, smiling, laughing, and as his parents call him, a handful. But his life began much differently.
As soon as I had him and they handed him to me, I could tell something was wrong.
His mom, Jennifer, says his forehead was severely pointed when he was born. At that point, they were told many babies are born with head deformities, and usually babies grow into them. But that didn't end up being the case with Parker.
When he was finally about 6 months old, he was diagnosed with metopic craniosynostosis.
That's a fancy term for a skull that was fused to the front of his head, meaning it would not grow anymore. That could lead to brain abnormalities and serious developmental problems down the road.
He was my baby. I mean, deformed head, autistic, it didn't matter to me. He was my kid.
But Jennifer and her husband, Edward, were faced with a big problem. The surgery would be extremely risky.
There's a lot of blood loss, and there's a lot of, it's a riskier operation than a lot of the other surgeries we do.
Dr. Vanessa Dimas is a craniofacial surgeon at Driscoll Children's Hospital and took on Parker's case. The Ranickys trusted her knowledge and experience enough to go through with the surgery. Parker made it through that operation, but his parents were shocked when they saw him afterward.
When we first seen him, I was heartbroken. He looked horrible, swollen. His eyes they were still open at the time, but by the next morning they weren't open. He didn't open his eyes for about 3 days or so.
They say in that moment they didn't know if surgery had been the right decision, knowing Parker was in tremendous pain and unable to move. But we don't call these miracle stories for nothing. At now 2 years old, Parker is thriving. His head is growing normally and he's in therapy for development, exceeding expectations. Doctors say he should be able to lead a completely normal life.
We don't know what is in store for us, but, we just take it day by day, and he's growing great.
And it's all because of the exceptional team of doctors at Driscoll Children's Hospital.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and, if there was anything I could do to repay him, I would do it.
And I'm so excited to be able to introduce you to the Ranicky family and Parker himself. Parker, can you wave to the camera? Can you wave? Give him a wave. Look at how well he's doing. There it is. There's the wave. Now, before I talk to you, Mom, I want to give Parker something special. We're giving all of our miracle kids this. Parker, this is for you. I'm going to put it on. Look at that. Wow. Clap. Give a clap. Wow, very cool. And I have to say, this whole time, Parker has seen this microphone and he just wants to sing. He wants to sing. So does he want to say something? Sing. That's hallelujah is what he's been saying, which is really a miracle that he's here. So Jennifer, you're his mom, and Parker's very young. And what was it like for your family? Oh, he wants to take it over, you guys. Parker is ready to go. What was it like to go through all of this? It's a lot, and you look at Parker now, and I would never know he went through what he has.
It was really hard for us. It was a hard decision. We weren't sure if we wanted to do it, but Dr. Dimas was wonderful, and she reassured us that it was a risky surgery, but it would be well worth it in the end, and it was.
I know when I was going through your interview and writing this story and putting it together, you had said after that surgery, you saw him in a lot of pain and he looked in rough shape and you weren't sure it was the right decision. Now, hey, look at him. He's hugging you. He's all over the place. Was that the right decision?
It was the right decision. I was really upset. I was heartbroken. He looked horrible, what I thought, but he did great. So it was the right decision.
And look at him now. He's all about it. You want to say hi? Hi. All right, now, thank you so much, Jennifer. And I want to actually talk to Dr. Vanessa Dimas, who made Parker's surgery possible. It is tough when you talk to these family members about choosing a surgery like that. Very risky. It's a very tough decision. What led you to encourage them to have Parker undergo that surgery?
Well, we met multiple times before the surgery,
And every time she had a question, I encouraged her to come, talk to me, so I could explain to her what was going to happen, what he was going to go through. But I think it doesn't matter how much I try to explain it to her. At the end, it's hard, even though she was as prepared as I think she could possibly be, just to actually see your child after surgery. And she was aware of the swelling and everything that was going to be happening, but it's still, I think, very difficult for the family to see their loved ones like that.
Right. I think that is the hardest part, seeing Parker like that. How exciting is it for you to see him out here moving? He's looking great, and his development seems to be really moving forward. So what's that like for you personally after you operated on him?
Well, it feels great just to know that he's going to have a normal life, he should, and that we hopefully prevented any brain damage or any developmental delays by doing the surgery.
Thank you so much, Dr. Demas. And let's go back to Parker. I just love him. The only thing you can see from his surgery is this really kind of cool scar on top of his head, and it looks like a headband.
He's got a great story to tell.
For the rest of his life, too. What do you say, Parker? Yep. That's it. Hallelujah. I love that. That's what he's got to say, and truly his story is a miracle. So we love having Parker out here, seeing him walking around. Clap for Parker. Yay, Parker.